So the first example we're going to look at is a hamstring stretch. So you can see here, Tamsin's using her whole body, supporting the knee. It's really, really important to stretch that limb. What you can also see is therefore when Tamsin just drop that back a little bit. So take it to the point of stretch. And then if it's a little bit uncomfortable, you can hold it back slightly. But this is a really good, strong position. And then you can lower the client's limb. So it's a really easy way of stretching the hamstring without too much force on you.
So this is a quad stretch in Sideline. It's really important. You can see how I've lined the hip and the knee all at the same height, so everything is nicely aligned. Again, I'm using my body weight. So if you've got a bodybuilder or a rugby player, you're not using your strength and you can just lean into it. So most people can get your foot to the bum, but not always. So this is an easy technique to use, and very gently ease the limb back out and support it on the way through.
So an alternative way of stretching the quads is going to be in a prone or face down position. So what you can see here, again, Tamsin's behind the technique. She's not leaning on the lower limb, but is just sort of gently pushing down on it. Now, if you need to increase the stretch, what you can do is actually lift the knee up, and that will give an increase on the quad stretch if someone isn't really feeling it in this position. And again, lowering the limb.
Okay, next we're on to the calves, and calves are always fun to stretch because people have to let physically go of them, don't they?
Yeah.
So you can see I've put my hand just gently on the back of the knee just to stop that raising up, and my foot and also my leg is pushing against the foot. And you can do this one face up as well. So again, I'm using my body weight as well as my hand and just easing the knee down to keep that calf nice and straight to give it a good stretch.
So what you can also do is stretch and mobilize through the foot. Now you'll often find that you end up doing more mobilization stuff through here. So what you can see is Tamsin moving the foot around a little bit and holding it in different positions to try and increase the mobility. So a little bit through inversion, rotating the foot so that it's pointing in, and just supporting it at all times through that. So you can hold the stretch or you can move it around a little bit within. So you can be a little bit flexible. Again, here, straight moving into the E version, looking at that ankle mobility. And movement through the toes as well. This is something that's often overlooked, actually, I think, is the feet.
Definitely.
I mean, you're looking at a whole lot of structures that insert on the base of the foot, so don't ever forget that you can work with feet.
Next coming up is the Thomas test stretch, and this is one of my favourite stretches. I do like this one. So this is going to pick up the hip flexor and also the quad if you want it to. So because the leg has to be up in the air, I've supported it on me so that my client isn't working too hard. I've then put one hand on ASIS, the other one on top of the knee, and then my lower leg is tucking her lower leg in as well. So the further I tuck the lower leg in, the more stretch I get in the quad, and the more I push down on the knee, the more stretch I get in the hip flexor.
So you can also stretch the arms. Again, this is an underutilized area. So you can see here a stretch for the wrist flexors, so fingers interlocked and supporting the elbow. What you don't want is hyper extension of the elbow, so you can support it. And then in contrast, what you can see here is a stretch of the wrist extensors, supporting the elbow and using Tamsin's whole hand there to get mine to move, not just pulling the fingers and hoping it stretches.
Okay, this one is a hand stretch and I do like it. So my little fingers have hooked in the little finger and the thumb, and my thumbs are stretching out the palm. So I'm just opening up the palm of the hand here. Really nice stretch.
So back stretches again. Now these can be quite difficult to do and sometimes less effective. We're showing you here a few ways to put pressure on to help to start to stretch the soft tissues. I really like using these and will often integrate them into the end of a treatment and can be really nice. And again here, looking at just using Tamsin's body to stretch and open up through the QL region a little bit.
So this is a bit more of a complex one to stretch the QLs out. It's a little bit difficult and it does require client assistance. This only really works if it is tight in there, but I think most people feel a stretch, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's about opening up through the middle, really.
So the neck then, now this is something that a lot of people actually quite like, is having their neck stretched,
definitely.
I find. Really nice here way of doing it is without having to pull the head around, just supporting it with crossed arms, just gently lifting it up and away from the couch and lowering back down nicely. Don't drop someone's head. Again, another variation here, looking at sort of more the lateral aspect. So just supporting the shoulder and gently move the head. Don't try and pull someone's head around, but gently levering it around to one side. Holding it there is a really nice way to stretch it.
One important thing there is don't lift the head up. Keep it level with the shoulders and the couch so that you're not putting strain on the neck.
Yes, it's just a lateral movement. And again, same thing exactly. You can see there that Tamsin hasn't lifted the head up again here. It is just a rotational movement. Really nice and relaxed, and then just rotating it, moving it through the hands and the side. So hopefully that's given you a huge variety of sort of some ideas of where to start stretching, and then you can go away and practice them.